There was a young boy named Yusuf who lived in a remote village far from major cities. The village lacked modern schools, and education was limited to learning to read the Quran and a few letters. In this village, education wasn't considered a priority. Instead, people focused on farming or herding. However, Yusuf was different. He loved to read and felt that there was a vast world waiting for him in books. He dreamed of becoming a scientist, doctor, or engineer, and he saw education as the only path to a bright future. Yusuf began learning letters and numbers from the only teacher in the village, an elderly man named Haj Ali. Despite the difficulty of life in the village, Yusuf went every day to Haj Ali's house for lessons. Haj Ali would tell him stories of great scholars who changed the world through knowledge, like Ibn Sina and Al-Khwarizmi. Yusuf listened eagerly to these stories and felt that even though he lived in a small village, he could achieve something great if he learned. However, Yusuf's father, who worked in agriculture, always told him, "Education isn't useful here. It's better to learn how to manage the land and farm, for that guarantees a better future." Despite his father's attempts to discourage him from pursuing education, Yusuf was determined to continue his studies. As the years went by, Yusuf's passion for knowledge grew. He began traveling to neighboring cities to search for better schools. On one of his trips to the city, he discovered a large school with many books and libraries. Yusuf's dream was to study at that school, but he knew it would require many sacrifices. He decided to ask his father for permission to study in the city. Initially, his father refused, but after much insistence from Yusuf, he finally agreed. Yusuf started his studies in the city, and although he faced many challenges, such as adjusting to his new life and being far from his family, he worked hard and excelled in his education. Whenever he faced difficulties, he remembered Haj Ali's words, "Knowledge is the weapon that never fades." Over time, Yusuf became one of the top students in his school and received scholarships to prestigious universities. After several years of study, he graduated with a respected degree and began working in the field of medicine, where he made a significant impact on the community. When Yusuf returned to his village after many years of living away, he became a role model for many of the children in the village. Everyone learned that nothing can stand in the way of someone who strives to learn, and that education is the key to changing lives and building a future.